Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Liberty Ventures podcast. My name is Alexander McCobin, founder and CEO of the Liberty Ventures Network, and I'm excited to recap of an amazing week last week here at the Old Family Farm in Pennsylvania, where we hosted the first Liberty Ventures Founders Camp and our annual Mountain Madness obstacle course race and retreat. And to provide some context, for the last several years, I've been inviting friends on out here to the farm to train for obstacle course races, long before Joe DeSena, the founder of Spartan Racing, got involved in the Liberty Ventures Network, was running those Spartan races and Tough Mudders just for the fun of it, as well as marathons and things like that. Been a big part to just scare myself into continuing to train and take care of myself. It's really easy for us to fall behind on our health if there isn't a particular goal that we work towards, or at least that's the case for me. Plus, it's just a lot more interesting and fun to have a competition coming up, to know that there's a 5K or a 25K or a 50K run that we need to get ready for. And over the years, the experience of inviting a handful of friends on out here to the farm to train evolved into organizing our own obstacle course, 5K running through the woods, swimming through the pond, climbing ropes, and things like that. But in bringing people together out here, I didn't just want to have an obstacle course race and have a party. I always, of course, want to give people an opportunity to share the amazing things that they're doing with each other. And to build on that, we launched the Founders Camp at Liberty Ventures to take place a couple of days before Mountain Madness to prepare some of the startups in the network to get ready to pitch, as well as to work on growing their companies. And this was a great addition to the event this year. I loved the opportunity to get to know 10 founders in the Liberty Ventures Network so much more than I've been able to just from these kinds of calls. And that's one of the great opportunities of events. One of the reasons we put them on. We can build relationships so much better. I understand what the companies are doing so much more than before. And we can have more informal conversations to improve the pitches, to improve the business plans or go-to-market strategies for startups by being there in person with each other. So, for example, Dudley Fitzpatrick from Coco Vibe was one of the founders who came out to the camp this year. And it's been great having Dudley in the Liberty Ventures Network for about 4 months now. But it wasn't until I actually got to try the Coco Vibe product, which is a coconut water concentrate that you add into other water to provide electrolytes, to provide flavor, to provide all kinds of functional benefits for people, that I started to understand not only how delicious the product is, but the opportunity to tap into the functional beverage space in general. Another attendee at the Founders Camp, Zach Silva, is building out a company, Hot Street Games, that is looking to revolutionize the way we approach gambling, especially in casinos. Now, this is something I have no experience with myself. I've been to casinos before, of course, and I have gambled, lost a lot of money that way, made some money. It's an entertainment function sometimes. But what we were able to do is help Zach during Founders Camp think about the evolution of what he's doing, not just using AI to create new games, but the kinds of games he wants to develop to help shift the industry away from a model where there is a built-in loss for people who go to casinos. That it's part of actually their laws that the casinos can only win so much, and that's the way slot machines and other games are explicitly set up. And what Zach wants to do is evolve the industry from a win-lose model to a player versus player competition model. Imagine, instead of having slot machines across casino floors, there are different games for people to have racing competitions against each other, or fighting competitions, or something else with video games that people are used to. So it's much more about people being able to compete against their friends, kind of like poker is set up already, but expand it to other games as well. Another company that has just been on a tear in the network that came out, William Steele from SupplyPay. It was amazing to see just how much he has continued to evolve and grow SupplyPay as a platform for cross-border payments from this initial small segment of agricultural producers in Mexico and one specific functionality of helping them access credit to becoming this larger platform for everything related to cross-border payments. And William, and getting to see William actually do some sales calls using our Starlink here in the farm while also participating in the obstacle course and everything else later on was just a blast. And so after Founders Camp, after spending a full day working with founders there on their pitches, we had about another 40 or so members of the Liberty Ventures Network who are also dear friends coming out for Mountain Madness, give these founders the opportunity to pitch them and start building relationships and talk about ways to scale what they're doing, and then have other attendees at Mountain Madness share what they're working on too. We just released a podcast with Liam Krut about how to apply Austrian economics to venture capital. He walked us through that more in depth amongst the trees during Mountain Madness. And then also, for example, had Chad Thevenot, one of the individuals who helped grow the University of Austin, which is doing amazing things, talk about what it really takes to engage in social change in the 21st century, how to take a bottom-up model that allows people to experiment with different ideas and build new institutions that are bringing about change, instead of just relying on old top-down formats, really pushing for us to change existing institutions, which may work sometimes, and that can be a good strategy. But what we're seeing with entities like the University of Austin, one of the best ways to actually shift existing institutions and to make long-term change is to start new entities, both in the for-profit and nonprofit spaces. And then, of course, it was just great to sit around the fire, play the harmonica, listen to some people playing guitar and singing in the evening, and keep building these relationships. So that's a quick recap. We're going to be sharing a lot more about Mountain Madness and the Founders Camp across the Liberty Ventures channels. And I'll invite anyone listening to share any feedback you have about what you've been doing to build your business, to get connected in the woods, or to get connected with obstacle courses or fitness activities outside of this. One of the reasons that I love incorporating the obstacle course into this is because being in business is all about obstacles. That's life in general. We are constantly facing challenges, and we don't know what obstacles are going to come before us. And so having a controlled environment like a 5K obstacle course race to push ourselves to do things that might be scary at first, like climbing a 40 or 50 foot rope, like swimming across a pond for the first time, or jumping over fire, is a way to prove to ourselves that we can overcome obstacles, that we can fight through these challenges, and that we can do it most effectively when we work together as a team for it. So that's a quick update on what's been going on in the Liberty Ventures Network over the past week. We'll have more to share next week, and much more that we're going to continue to do to support other values-aligned investors, executives, and entrepreneurs who want to be the best representatives of, advocates for, and collaborators in capitalism, this amazing system that promotes human prosperity. Thanks so much, everyone. Talk to you soon.